The first set of the day will be played on Newkirk, sponsored by Photo Punch. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the blue Protoss from STX Seoul. His name is Trap.
Opponent spawns in the bottom right position as Orange Protoss, playing for SK Telecom T1. His name is Parting. Excuse me.
All right there, man?
Yep.
All right, cool.
No, I'm not swallowing on the microphone sponge today, so I'm good. I'm not dying just yet.
That's true, man. Actually, we got new mics, I guess maybe about a bit over a month or two ago, if I recall, and they have the little sponges on the end. They help out with certain sounds.
I mean, compared to the old ones, the sponge falls off much easier.
But the mics overall are a lot better, easier to adjust. Personally, I like them more. I don't know if I can speak on your behalf because...
I'd had some pretty bad experiences
near-death experiences with S&M. I mean, broadcasting is actually a very dangerous job. We put our lives on the line every day just to bring StarCraft content to you guys out there.
Yeah, even today, coming to work, there was like crazy taxi drivers who was just trying to ram their taxis into the buses.
I know, man.
You're in the same bus. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. I was a little bit worried there that the taxi was going to crash into us. Thankfully, that's kind of just how people drive in Korea. It was really weird. It was like a culture shock when I came from America, and I was like, wait, people...
It's not a culture shock. I mean, think about this. You go into America, you drive around, Asian drivers. Hey.
Well, that is the stereotype. Now, think about that stereotype. What if that stereotype was actually true, and everybody in the country drove that way? That is South Korea. That's actually let that sink in.
That's actually a lot of Asian countries, but you experience it firsthand if you come over here.
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked, and I will never drive in this country. I can use the subway system to go everywhere I want to, or the bus system.
Even the Koreans say they can't drive that well in Korea. They're scared to drive.
You know what? Most Koreans will even admit, like, oh no, I'm not a good driver.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to try to hide it. But that's kind of the driving culture in Korea. Looks like Parting's scouting around, just making sure there's no proxies near his natural there, and we'll see if he wants.
Trap.
Yeah, we'll see if he wants to move out. I love his base layout, man. It looks pretty cool there.
And also, just a little trick from Trap, right? Was it Parting or Trap? I didn't see the colors at that.
Parting is orange on the right.
Yeah. Okay, so Parting, excuse me, he's mining with 4 probes, but he's mining from 3 from the left and 1 from the right. And the reason why he is doing this is because the assimilator on the left side is slightly closer to the Nexus, if you can notice on the map. And you could mine 2 probes from each assimilator, but you just get a better mining if you try to mine with 4 probes by putting 3 in one of the assimilators and putting 1 on the other one.
That's actually like a really good point that you brought up there, and I didn't even realize that on this specific map. I know about the trick, but didn't realize it here. So
it was a huge thing on the online communities one day when people were realizing, oh my god, you can mine so much better from one of the assimilators.
It's pretty sick, man. All right, well, looking at the build orders here, Parting going for a pretty fast expand. On the other hand, though, Trap is going for some 2-gate Stalker aggression. Means he's going to eventually have up to 5 out, and along with the proxy pylon, I don't know, Parting's going to have to be ready to defend against this, and he's got his Militia Corps and running him back to the home base.
I don't know if Trap can take it down. He's trying to chase it as long as possible, but there's up to 3 gates up by Trap, so Parting, he needs some stellar defense to make sure that he could save the Nexus.
Indeed he does. There's not really any units out for him yet either. I mean, he's building a Stalker right now. Okay, no, never mind. He has 1 Stalker there. The Nexus will finish in time for the Stalker aggression. That's something important to point out. The Stalkers may try to run past, though. So Parting can't allow that to happen. He is building a Robo, so he'll be able to get an Immortal out soon, but he's going to need to get that really fast. And Trap going for a Proxy Stargate follow-up here. That's actually a crazy position to do a Proxy, but I guess it'll work.
This was an improvised build by any means because Trap, he scouted the Nexus and he's like, oh, you're going for a really early Nexus? Well, I'm going to be as aggressive as possible. Nexus Cannon going down inside the main base, which means that there's no Nexus Cannon at the natural.
That's a bit unfortunate for Parting. He wanted to use the Nexus Cannon at the natural. He will get that Immortal out pretty fast here. Parting scouting his opponent with a probe here, sees the 3 gates, doesn't see anything else. That's got to tip him off that there's something weird going on here. The Oracle on the way now from Trap. The Immortal finishes for Parting. He's going to be able to hold off this aggression quite easily with that Immortal. And Trap is not microing properly.
This means that he is actually defended well at the natural. There's one Mothership Core, 2 Stalkers from Trap, but the Immortal is doing a lot of damage, but also Parting needs to make sure that the Immortal does not get taken out.
And the Oracle now moving into the main base. Will Parting realize in time and react? The probes are being pulled off the mineral line now. Up to 3 kills ready on that Oracle. A Stalker coming to the fight here in order to chase off that
He needs to get a lot of
Oracle.
kills with the Oracle right now. Up to 8 kills, getting up to 9, no. So getting up to 8 kills is really nice, but remember, behind this, there's a second Nexus from Parting. And as long as Parting defends, he can still stay in this game and have a nice probe advantage later in the game.
Indeed, he's got that Immortal, so don't forget that. The Immortal is able to just, completely chew through these Immortals here. Excuse me, Stalkers, and the Zealot will fall shortly here as well. The Sentry goes down. The Immortal very low on health here. Parting needs to make sure that doesn't get sniped off here. And it does indeed go down. Parting has a pretty strong amount of Stalkers, though. He should be able to micro against this army and force Trap back.
Parting's doing a nice job. He's buying in just enough time to get another Immortal out and enough energy for the Nexus Cannon at the natural, which means that Parting, he's well defended, and all he has to worry about is the Oracles, the annoying Oracles from Trap. So Trap, he scouted the Nexus. He did a nice job trying to apply a heavy pressure on his opponent, but all Parting has to do right now is defend against possible one more timing push from his opponent, but this is not the right decision. In fact, Parting he is going to lose 1 Stalker possibly.
Well, that was very
Barely.
close there.
1 HP left on the Stalker.
So Parting getting a little bit over aggressive there, loses 1 Stalker. He has to have a few Stalkers back in his natural for defense against the Oracle, but as long as he gets another Immortal out, and this is 2 Oracles.
He needs a warp in inside the main base while also using the Nexus Cannon at the natural, but look at this. Trap just trying to draw out the Stalkers at the natural while the 2 Oracles are just ripping away the probes inside the main base.
Then in Parting, he's got to decide, where do I put that Nexus Cannon? It's gone down in the natural. He's got a lot of units back there for defense now. Trap starting his expansion at the natural, but this may give Parting a small timing to attack him.
Even if he doesn't go for a small timing, he's still ahead in the probe count. And those 2 Oracles, yes, it did kill some probes here and there.
Parting also scouting the Stargate.
It just didn't do enough damage, I have to say. Right now, Parting has 2 Nexus, which means that he's going to have double the amount of probes coming out compared to his opponent Trap. Yes, he is behind. He doesn't have this behind when it comes to tech because he doesn't have the Stargate compared to his opponent. He is down in 1 gateway, but all Parting has to do right now is just defend macro up heavily behind us. And who's going to be ahead in the economy wars? Parting.
Hold on a second. Trap accidentally turned his warp gate into a gateway.
I didn't want to mention it because that was just a silly mistake.
It's pretty funny, though. It's not actually going to change anything.
Haven't seen one of those happen in Pro League.
No, that's the first. Stargate is going to fall here on Parting's end. The Robo starting up for Parting as well, Robo Bay. I have a feeling that we're going to see Parting go for a pretty strong timing here. And, all right. Well,
free vision.
I have no idea why he did that. Oracle on the main base, getting a good amount of kills here, up to 7, 8 on this probe. Gonna get this Oracle gonna get scared away. 18 probes have been killed. It's a pretty sick amount, man.
The funny thing is, 18 probes have been killed, but Parting is still ahead when it comes to the probe count.
I know, man. That's the power of the fast Nexus.
That's the power of the fast Nexus. If you can defend. That is the key point. Now, Parting, after seeing the number of sentries, he still needs to be careful. If he loses too many Stalkers over here, then that allows Trap to come back into this game. But so far, Parting, he could do anything that he wants to. Basically, it's his game. The tide is on his side.
He's in a great position right now. Groaning out the Colossi. Well, okay, Parting's decided, wait a second. I need to go ahead and finish this off here. So the Stargate will indeed fall. Gets blown up there. And we have a few more gateways on the way for Parting as well. Stopped at 40 probes as well.
Stopped at 40 probes, but it's kind of iffy to... Now we're in a situation where it's like kind of iffy to say who is exactly ahead. When it comes to the Robotech, yes, Parting is completely ahead at this point, and the Oracle even getting sniped. Really nice play by Parting with the Stalkers.
Parting's ahead in supply right here. He's got a few sentries in his army. The Colossus tech is out now with those additional gateways. 4 gateways going down. Looks like Parting wants to do a timing against his opponent here, and you know what? He is ahead. He's in a solid position, so... I mean, I totally can see this working here, especially since Trap is continuing to build probes.
Like I said, if Parting decides to go for a third Nexus, his opponent Trap cannot touch it. If he decides to go for a strong timing push, Trap, all he can do is stay inside the main base. So basically, Parting can do whatever he wants to do, and his choice this game is to go for a strong push with the Colossus.
Yeah, looks like Parting continuing that pro production behind, reinforcing with a lot of units. He's got the economy now where he can pretty much get away with that. He's built a lot of gateways. Looks like he just wanted to kind of stop the production temporarily there.
This is going to be hard for Trap to block. Remember, there is one Immortal out for Trap, but the Robo Bay is not done. The second Immortal barely finishing.
Yeah, the army supplies, though, looking pretty close here. Obviously, a bit of an advantage here for Parting, but it's going to come down, I think, to the Nexus Cannon and the good force fields from Trap. You know, can he use those despite the Colossi being there?
Well, I'm not too sure, because Parting is the one that he could utilize some force field really well in this battle.
Excellent use of time warps there on the entire army of Trap here. Parting, can he make this work? He's just got a lot of units. I think he's going to end up overpowering his opponent. The Colossi getting low on health as the Nexus Cannon fires it. And Parting's going to have to go ahead and send that Colossus away there, just barely getting picked off before.
But no Immortals by Trap at this point, as there's just too many units from Parting, and he just overpowering his opponent at the natural. GG.
Parting takes game number 1 over his opponent Trap after holding off the early aggression with the early Nexus. No, he just goes for that mid-game timing push, ends up working very well for him. If you're ahead and you have more units and you know you can end the game, go ahead and do it. That's exactly what Parting did.
And Trap, with this build, he was supposed to do a lot more damage. Getting up to 16 probes with 2 oracles only was a really nice play on Trap's part, but the problem is his opponent already had double Nexus. He was supposed to kill more probes if he wanted to gain some economic advantage in the game.
Indeed. So the score is 0-1 with SK Telecom in the lead. The next match will be Deer against Sue. Don't go anywhere. This is the SK Planet Pro League.